Yo! Hey guys, Arthur here, and oh my, what a winter that was. I mean, it was pretty heckin' freezing, but still, it was crazy, and now spring is here, and I can't wait any longer to enjoy the sunshine.
Well, this blows.
Okay. Well, it'll still be pretty cold outside, you know it's not?
It's in a box, in a game, on a somehow dolphin-shaped landmass. That's right, people, the sun-drenched tropical isle of Delfino. Oh wow, Super Mario Sunshine. Me and this game have quite a lot of history. You see, even if this game came out before the era of me, it might possibly be the Mario game that I spent the most time on. I mean, this is most likely because I was a foolish young kid with a wacky and weird controller placed in front of him and was tasked with the impossible mission of comprehending how to make Mario jump. But the point is still valid. I spent a lot of time in this game, and from time to time I still do. Playing this game fills me with a sense of nostalgia that games like 3D Land and Odyssey just don't give me. I grew up with this game, and it's fair to say I'm quite fond of it. Sure, it brought me anger and rage, and I couldn't beat bosses like, you know, Dentist's Worst Nightmare. But even now, that makes me nostalgic, as it gives me strong memories of bringing my skilled older brother to come and help me out.
Today, I'd like to return to this game, seeing as it's the closest thing we're going to get at the moment to a nice, relaxing holiday. So think of it as a little staycation for you all. Okay, this is my little disclaimer. I have never and will never 100% Super Mario Sunshine, for reasons I will discuss later on in the video. But I have beaten every single main shine in the game, and, you know, all that stuff. It's just some unnamed shines, which I'm not going to drop at the moment. Blue coins! That kind of stopped me from doing this. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, Super Mario Sunshine is a platformer. Well, mostly. Because some of the time it uses a really neat tool that you and I call H2O.
Back in the day, this was pretty insane, because this game came out at a time when water was basically just a blue no-no floor. Yes, in games like Mario 64 and Majora's Mask, you could still swim in water, but in most games, it was just a nicely coloured void of death. In Mario Sunshine, the concept of water was taken from the games like previously mentioned, Mario 64 and Majora's Mask, and amplified to a whole other level. Like, you could drown Piantas, but honestly, it's such a cool mechanic and certainly doesn't get overused. It was released a whole 6 years after 64 in 2002, and was originally shown off as a completely different game at Spaceball 2001. Now, if you want to get technical, it was also kind of this monstrosity. Yeah, it's debated whether this was transformed into Sunshine, but it's a fairly educated guess, so yeah. So just a year and a bit after 2001 Spaceball, Super Mario Sunshine was released to the public with a new coat of paint and have now apparently voice actors? Yeah, Mario Sunshine did a Sonic Adventure and added voice acting into the game, and it is bad. Some of it is passable, but just listen to Bowser.
Mario!
This came at a time when Nintendo was making Bowser seem more kind of human. In a lot of the spin-off games, he just sounded like an angry dad. As a kid, this just seemed really strange, and it's no wonder why no other Mario game has implemented voice acting to this amount again. It sucks, and it does not fit with the style of game that Mario is. Okay, now that we have rambled on about the small boring stuff, let's dive headfirst into the meat of the game. So this game takes place God knows when in the Mario timeline, but what we do know is that Mario, Princess Peach, and a gang of Toads, and a new character known as Toadsworth, are in need of a vacation to the sun-drenched tropical isle of Delfino. And even though this plot is kind of strange, well, not really compared to some others, it still is such an amazing concept, like Mario on holiday. That's super cool. Maybe not as cool as Mario in space, but still, a nice breakaway from grass, sand, snow, beach, forest, mountain, cold, fire. Oof. In the opening cutscene, Princess Peach decides not to tell anyone about the creepy Mario dude lookalike, and that would ultimately throw off their holiday plans completely.
Now, what happens with the rest of the game is entirely her fault. If she hadn't just told the people there that, hey, Mario, there's a dude posing as you, then she wouldn't have got kidnapped, Mario would have gone to prison, blah 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 blah, the game would have been peaceful. And best of all, we wouldn't have had to hear, Mama, please!
Okay, let's get back on track. Mario and crew crash into the airstrip and find some
icky paint like goop,
and decide to investigate, and it's at this point when we're introduced to Flood, who shows us some super cool retro footage, which I used to adore seeing for some reason. After clearing up the
icky paint like goop,
Mario gets arrested.
Don't blame me, I didn't write this.
Now this is where the plot gets weird. After being arrested for committing crimes he clearly didn't commit, he is forced to do community service for the island residents after travelling through magic paint for a while. Princess Peach gets kidnapped by who I'm going to call Jelly Dude. Jelly Dude takes her in a Bowser boat to a theme park where mechanical Bowser comes out of a pool of water, which then fire rockets at. It is then revealed that Jelly Dude is not a Jelly Dude, but is in fact Bowser's son, who is apparently Princess Peach's son. They then escape in a hot air balloon into a volcano. After a period of collecting shines, Gelato Kid submerges the island in water, forcing you to fight him inside a volcano. Once you arrive at said volcano and fly through the clouds inside, you finally see Bowser, who's just straight goddamn vibing in a hot tub, where he's been for the whole entire goddamn game.
This plot is ridiculous, but it's also a masterpiece and truly a product of its time. There is no way, I guarantee it, that another Mario game in the future will have the same plot, unless they remaster it, but still, that's the same Mario game, but no other one will have it. It's something that only the 2000s could have produced.
The gameplay first begins after they climb out the wreckage and find the said. Upon first gaining control of Mario, you find that actually, he's not that bad to control. His moves are alright, and he moves a lot more swiftly than his 64 counterpart. Although, of course, I do agree with most people on this say that something about him feels off. Sometimes it feels as if he moves too quickly and he just snaps the direction you face him. Speaking of which, you are mostly limited to a puny 8 directions of movement, with some slight jiggle room. But as I said, it's not the worst thing in the world to control. This iteration of Mario is of course famous for its introduction of the all-powerful spin jump. This thing is insane and can be used to pull off some really neat jumps. A lot of people really love this game because of this move. Unfortunately, even though it's a superb addition to the movesets, it removes 2 moves from Mario 64. The punch, which realistically wasn't that important and hasn't appeared in any games since, and also the long jump. The long jump's removal really surprised me as it was really useful in 64, especially for speedrunners, but not only that, it's actually been added back to every further 3D Mario game, making this removal even more strange. But it may have been due to the thing we call FLUDD.
Flooding liquid and less damp device. FLUDD.
FLUDD, in my opinion, is what makes this game tick. If this game just had the base Mario moveset, it would be complete and utter garbage. I mean, mostly because you can't even leave the tutorial level without using him, but still, FLUDD's base ability is the Squirt Nozzle. This is the ability that has it on all times without fail. This ability makes great use of the R button on the Gamecube, which is pressure sensitive. This means that it can basically just detect how far you push it in. This works really well for the Squirt Nozzle. If, for example, you're chasing a blue paint demon and you need to eliminate him, then boom, just lightly press down the trigger and you can spray that idiot while you're running. Or, on the other hand, if you need to drown an obese flower, then press it up all the way and you can aim wherever you need to fire. His second ability is the Sonic power-up. It allows Mario to go super fast and bonk into every single wall that is in his way. It's used a few times in levels, mainly just for races and getting across bodies of water, but it's really fun to use in Delfino Plaza. The third and final nozzle is the jump one. Like the Sonic one, it's barely used all too much in levels, and only once or twice to getting up to high places. It's also really fun to glitch out the game with it.
So basically FLUDD is just a fancy hose, and I'm sure won't get repetitive throughout the game. Now those of you who have played the game will know that FLUDD is not the only extra option of movement.
For the first time since Super Mario World, Yoshi is playable in a main series Mario game.
This isn't counting Yoshi's Island because Yoshi's Island has Yoshi in the title. It is Yoshi. It is the game about Yoshi.
But now Yoshi is back, and he's back with style, and by style I mean you can take control of him and force him to puke over some moving mangoes.
I never understood that.
Yeah, this time Yoshi has decided that he doesn't like being normal, so he can now spit out his own life force. It's for a good cause though, because not only can his magic juice unlock secret areas or levels, but can also torture other creatures into flying blocks. On top of that, your old pal Yoshi is getting quite an appetite and taking the phrase "you are what you eat" very seriously. Depending on the type of fruit Yoshi eats, he'll become a variety of different colours, ranging from purple, orange and pink, but not green because that's reserved for death, which can actually happen very easily. For some reason, Yoshi is now allergic to water in the one game based around water. Whenever he touches it, he dissolves into particles and gets hoovered up by the sky. It's a very sad moment. This could happen after all of his juice has been deleted, so you might want to watch out for that as well.
So that's all the basic moves in Mario Sunshine. Of course, there were extra modes of transports like riding a discolored blooper through toxic waste, but we'll just move over that one.
Now what's a good moveset if there's no neat little hub world for you to mess around in them with? Every good open 3D world game has them. Mario 64 has Peach's Castle, Mario Galaxy had Comet Observatory, and Wheelchair Adventures had the house.
Who wrote this?
Well, the point still stands. Hub worlds are great, usually. And Super Mario Sunshine does not disappoint. This time around you get dropped into Delfino Plaza, which still to me has one of the best theme songs for a hub world. Maybe beaten by the Comet Observatory, but it's kind of half and half. Take a listen. Of course, this is not a concert hall, it's an open town, with traders, shopkeepers, money-hungry raccoons, and power-crazy police officers. Not only does Delfino Plaza allow you to practice moves such as wall jumping, water sliding, and tightrope walking, but it also allows you to mess around with the 3 previous named flood nozzles. I really like this because it gives you so much opportunity to just mess around and absolutely dash across the map and bonk into a wall and get concussion.
Think about it, how cool would it be to use flood in your local area?
Moving onwards, the plaza itself has a really nice design. It really does look like a fully working town with full of life, which future 3D Mario entries fall short of pulling off due to the change in gameplay. The thing I love most is the Shine Gateway, which stands tall and proud in the centre of the town. When I was younger, I used to love going up there and just looking around at the town before proceeding to dive off and drown the nearest Pianta. On the whole, I absolutely adore this hub world. It looks great, it has lots to do, and even managed to cram a few Shine Sprites for you to collect. The one thing that does bring it down is that it's home to Tom Nook's knockoff cousin, who, like previously mentioned, Tom Nook robs you of your hard-earned cash, but this time in trade of Shine Sprites.
Now I think this is a better time as any to talk about the collectibles in the games, not stars and coins.
Of course, the not stars, or I guess you could call them Shine Sprites if you're that crazy, are pretty self-explanatory. They are this game's version of the Power Stars and Power Moons. They work as the source of sunlight for the island, which gives them their sun-like appearance, which is a pretty neat concept in my opinion. Apart from the visuals, there is no other difference from other entries' main collectibles. The other main collectibles in the game are the coins, and there are 2 varieties of said coins, gold coins and blue coins. Gold coins work as usual, just an everyday collectible, but like in Mario 64, if you get the 100 in level, then you get shine. This also includes Delfino Plaza. The other variety of coin are known as the blue coins, and I'm sure this is the currency of the devil. In every stage, there are usually around 30 of them, including Delfino Plaza, which has 20, and Corona Mountain, which has 10. So in total, there is around 240 coins.
I know what you're thinking. They're just coins, they're not that hard to get. Well, be quiet. Have you ever tried to get them?
Coins can be found in graffiti, on top of the building, on invisible graffiti, which you can't even see. They can be found by just spraying some random pixel on the screen until one pops out.
This wouldn't be too bad if there was actually a goddamn list.
When collecting blue coins in a level, unless you note it down, you will have no idea how many more or less you need to get. There is no record. There is no way to see how many blue coins you got in a level, let alone which ones in said level. And what you need to do to get these blue coins? Well, if you go back over to the shack with the Tom Nook ripoff, then you can trade 10 of these precious blue coins for a Shine Sprite. So that means over 24 of the 120 Shine Sprites in the game are found from this one raccoon. Quarter of the needed Shine Sprites that are owned by this raccoon. And after dealing with this raccoon, you start to realise, hey, I'm not actually the villain here. I don't know why they think I am, because most of the villagers in this game have the Shine Sprites. It's not just the raccoon, it's literally all of them. Talk to a dude, oh yeah, here you go, have a Shine Sprite. What?
Very, very few of them are actually hidden because of Bowser, but yet Mario still gets the blame and has to clean up this filthy island.
Okay, so admittedly, I may have gone off on a tangent there, but the point still stands. And now, you can't have blue coins in stages without having stages.
And in Super Mario Sunshine, there are 7 of these marvellous stages, 8 if you include the final boss. Each stage has 8 main episodes and 2 secret extra shines. Over the course of these episodes, you get to witness firsthand what the actions in that stage have done on the people and the environment. The first stage, Bianco Hills, has been tormented by the freaky creature Pizza Piranha, and its surprising amount of goop is spread over the island. As you progress to the end of the stage, the goop clears and the structures and pollution of the area die down because the area returns to normal. The second stage, Ricco Harbour, is in a similar situation. Gooper Blooper is a giant blooper and is ruining the harbour's clear water and covering it with toxic ink. Over the course of the episode, you fight off Gooper Blooper and the water returns to its normal wateriness. Then, it's Gelato Beach. Yeah, I hate this stage, but I have to talk about it anyway. In hell, you have to protect the Sunbird, some big bird made of sand, and over the course of the missions you fight off a series of angry caterpillars, until you finally make it to, haha, just kidding, more pain. After saving the Sandbird or something, you're rewarded with watermelons.
Yes!
Next up, it's Pinner Park, where nothing really happens except for the fact that a robot Bowser comes out the goddamn floor. Oh, and there's some balloons on a roller coaster, I guess.
Yeah, Pinner Park is a neat concept, but it has no story apart from, you know, this abomination.
After having your eyes burned out, you head on over to Serina Beach, where the shores are being plagued by a mysterious Manta Ray which chomped on the hotel and is leaving its icky paint-like goop all over the place. After clearing away this nightmare, you enter the hotel and, oh, your eyes have recovered? Too bad, because I have some booze. It turns out the hotel is being haunted by none other than the evil King Boo, except he looks like a joke. After banishing from down below, the hotel is back in business and all is well. The next stage is Noki Bay, and this is probably my favourite story of them all, as it's the most developed one in my opinion. It revolves, again, around polluted water, and in the first mission you're recruited to unblock the waterfall, as they think, hey, this psycho mold dude is the problem. But in the second mission you learn, oh, it's not. Hey, maybe it's Gooper Blooper dude sat on top of the cliff spreading all the ink again.
Yep, that's right. 3 identical blooper boss fights. I mean, what are you gonna do about it?
Unfortunately, the problem is not being caused by Gooper Blooper, so Mario sends him back into space. The next mission involves Super Mario learning how to scuba dive in a bottle, as they think, hey, maybe it's coming from down below, and in mission 4 we learn, hey, wouldn't you know it, it's coming from down below.
Mario Sunshine life lesson number 64, always brush your teeth.
In the depths of the lake lies a big old eel, and he's not been brushing his teeth, and apparently this has caused the mass pollution on the surface. This then forces Mario to brush the eel's teeth so goddamn hard that he dies.
Honestly, I love it.
How this concept is in the final game is beyond me, but I love it all the same. The final main stage is Piazza Village, and like Pinner Park, nothing really goes down here. I mean, you catch some rabid chain chomplets, which are adorable by the way, you do some sick parkour and give a golden chain chomp a bath, and then drown some Piantas. Now, I may have driven away from my original point there, but that was a good way to introduce you to many different stages and the quote-unquote story from each one. A story in a game is all well and good, but most people just don't care about this and they just want to bounce around the levels. And in Super Mario Sunshine, there are around 5 different level types, excluding normal levels, in my view anyhow. These are the red coin levels, boss fight levels, secret stage levels, gimmick levels, and jelly dude levels. Each of these provide their own distinct ways of torture.
So what's actually inside this trash then? I mean, oh, wouldn't you know who it is?
I hate red coin missions, not just in this game, but in general. Red coin missions are dumb. But lucky for me in Super Mario Sunshine, there are only roughly around 23 red coin missions, give or take. That is goddamn ridiculous. I mean, at least there's some variation between them. I mean, some are in hell, some have a time limit, some are even out of bounds, and some get carried by balls of fluff. It is a wonder how players are still sane after watching these missions. The other type of level I've mentioned was of course the boss fights, which are in my untrustworthy opinion, one of the best parts of Sunshine. There are some which are kind of basic, admittedly, such as the Pungelos, the Jelly Dude boss fights, the Monty Moles, and the Gatekeepers, but the rest are all pretty unique from one another, and the main levels that I go back and play regularly. My personal favourite boss fight has to be the Manta Ray boss fight on Serina Beach, as it's the most original one. And I don't think we've actually seen a boss fight quite like it since the game was released. It's usually fighting off an electric Manta Ray that has swallowed the hotel on the beach.
Stay with me.
The thing about the Manta Ray is that it's completely 2D and doesn't actually target you during the first stage of the fight. It just flows across the beach, spreading its electric ink onto everything it touches. Nowhere is safe. Oh, apart from underneath these handy coin shelters. The Manta Ray can't actually go under any objects, only on top of them. So if you stand in these shelters, he can go on the roofs, but not under them. Of course, the only way to defeat him is with our good friend H2O, but when you spray him, he divides in 2, and this causes him to repeatedly get smaller and smaller until now hundreds of mantas are the same size as Mario. When the entire manta has been divided so they're all the same size, they start to home in on Mario and go much faster, leaving even more goop everywhere.
This was, at least for me, the hardest boss fight in Super Mario Sunshine. I remember starting over so many times, but then again, as you may have guessed, I could have just been complete trash. And now, I know what you're thinking, what's the final boss fight?
It's Bowser in a hot tub.
Why not? Why not?
The next type of level is one I'm really not too fond of. The secret stages are stages of Mario Sunshine that have Jelly Dudes swipe flown away from you, and it's here we really see how flawed the basic platforming is. These levels are just junk, man. You roll off cubes, you easy side off barely angled platforms, you bonk your head and just really struggle without FLUDD. But at least these levels have catchy retro music.
And I know some people enjoy these levels, and to them, I say, I don't feel being insane.
Moving onwards, we have the Jelly Dude levels. And these are in every stage and are always the 7th mission. They always consist of playing tag, and they are always easy to beat. Unfortunately, to actually beat Bowser in his glorious hot tub, you have to beat all 7 of these Jelly Dude missions to meet him. It's a tragedy. To top it all off, Jelly Dude gets so triggered that he decides to flood the plaza, forcing you to do the final boss. These missions always bring trouble and are never good for anyone. They're repetitive and stale and bring nothing new to the table.
Really? Who could have guessed?
The final different types of levels are the gimmick levels. It really wouldn't be a Nintendo game without a gimmick level. These levels can range from racing with the running man from Zelda to carefully escorting a watermelon to a blender.
I'm really struggling to think of the meeting where they were discussing what to put at the end of Gelato Beach, and someone just put their hand up and went, melon contest. It's so strange, it's brilliant, but it's so painful it's garbage.
Oh, and who could ever forget the pachinko machine level?
Okay, I'm done. I can't take any more today. I remember this game wrong. It's not perfect. It's far from it. But I still love it. It's broken, it's ridiculous, it's sometimes very infuriating, but it's a fantastic time, no doubt. And I highly recommend it to any lovers of platformers and lovers of drowning Piantas. And hey, after all this talk of sunshine, the sun's come out. See ya!